All right, back again, back again. I know it's been a minute. I don't even remember who these guys are that I'm on camera with right now. It's been so long, but today we want to talk about anime, right? Because what I've noticed is things are really shifting, and it's like you have to make an executive decision. Are you going to give us a strong start and probably fade off at the end? Or are you going to give us a weak start, hope that I'm a loyalist and stay through for like a satisfying finish, right? And I think with the nature of people's attention span these days, it's not like before, right? It's not like the early 2000s. Like, so now you have to like make an executive decision, right? Very few animes are just perfect start to finish. So I'm gonna throw the question out to you guys. Would you prefer to indulge in an anime that has a strong start but kind of teeters off at the finish, or are you good with a slow burn if it's a great payoff at the end? Anybody can go first. Don't all
Mm.
answer at
Nah,
once.
this is tough.
No, it's tough. I'll go first because
Okay.
I could kind of like teeter with both sides if you get me. So like where I'm at right now is I'm currently trying to get through One Piece, and how spoiled we've been as of late with like the Demon Slayers, the JJKs, Hell's Paradise, Solo Leveling, like fast paced anime, and where you're just getting like good action back to back to back. The like just sitting here and binging this, it's like I can't even fathom wanting to watch this week by week when it was dropping. So it's like, but where they are currently, like knowing what's going on in the One Piece world, like it just makes me want to get to there. But then I have other shows where it's like Rising of the Shield Hero, where their first season was like really good to me, and then second season was just like, what are we doing? Third season is kind of like, okay, we're kind of getting back to what season one was doing, but then it's like, do I even want to continue and go with season four? Like, but that's just such a show where it's like I could sit there and rewatch that first season again and again and again. So it's like I can teeter with both, but I think I'm leaning towards the One Piece side where it's like a weaker start, where it's like more of a slow burn because that payoff at the end, it seems like it's like it, the way that fandom's building it up, and I gonna not cap and say I really want to be a part of that fandom now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to agree with Smoke. Like, I mean, there's very, very few animes that's consistent, right? And we've seen animes that probably hit a bump in the road, right? We've seen it with Bleach, where strong start, stayed consistent, and then it hit an arc and almost derailed the whole franchise for years on end. Now we're just getting a 1,000 year Blood War arc being animated, right? So it could, it's very few animes that's like just hits you with bangers after bangers after bangers, like stay consistent. But in terms of what I would rather watch, it's probably because once I get through the beginning phase, no matter like how boring it is, if I can get to a point in the mid phase where it just starts to pick up and then it ends strong, I think I would much prefer that than to kind of get my expectations and hopes up and then just fall off a cliff at the end. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to agree with you, Smoke.
I'll say this real quick. Falling off a cliff is subjective, right? Because I think there's some popular animes out there that their final arcs have divided the community, right? And I think that can also be considered going downhill, right? Because there's several arcs where everybody was on board, right? If you debate that this arc wasn't good, like you're just an idiot, right? But then you have those final arcs that kind of tear the community apart, right? And for that reason, and I'll give examples in a second, but for that reason, I prefer the strong start, right? I want to reel the audience in because obviously, like, we're going to give it a chance. We're going to see it through, right? But what if I'm trying to
Mhm.
put somebody on for the first time and this person is not really a die-hard anime person, or I'm just trying to convert someone for the first time? I think you need to reel them in pretty strong, right? And the examples that come to mind, and I'm just going off of general consensus of me seeing people on the internet kind of be divided amongst these arcs. I'm thinking of Naruto and I'm thinking of Attack on Titan, right? Two things that I think started strong, and I think people have been gripped throughout. But I hear a lot of complaints about the like the I hear a lot of complaints about the war arc, and I even hear people complain about like the what do you call it, like the uprising and with all the colossal titans. I do hear people complain about that, right? But
I
there
have a
was so
question. I'll
yeah.
let you finish. I just have a question. I guess what do we define as like weak end? Because I feel like
Like a rush
Naruto.
ending.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So like Naruto, the
Yeah.
war arc is an arc, right? I feel like
Mhm.
with Attack on Titan, the last arc was actually really good. It's just that people just didn't really some people didn't prefer the actual ending of like Eren dying and the reasoning. So what I'm saying is there's a difference between the arc and the actual like plot device. You get what I
So
mean?
yeah,
So
no,
like
no,
are we saying weak ending as in just the plot device or just the actual like how the book closes, or more so the arc of the ending? You get what I mean? Because I feel like
yeah.
Attack on Titan is one of those anomalies that was probably the most consistent every single arc. You know
When
what I mean?
when I say weaker ending, I'm thinking of the reaction of the general consensus. I think it really divided people. Where, like, for example, if I were to give like the watchers of Attack on Titan, if I gave them Return to Shiganshina, I feel like there was no there. Obviously, there's always an outlier, right? But the general consensus, I don't think there was a divide there. I think the final arc really divided the community a lot and left a bad taste in a great amount of people's. I'm not going to say it's more or less, but I do think it was a significant number. If you guys know where I'm coming from there.
Mm-hmm. No, I got
Wh-
you. I got
Where
you.
where
No,
I
I
think in
feel you.
previous arcs, everybody were on board with like this was amazing, right? And I do think because it's the last thing you remember, it can kind of skew how great an actual anime was. But I do think, people after that, they'll be upset for a little bit, but the dust kind of settles and they're like, you know what, man, overall that was great. However, I felt at the very end is a little but overall that was just a great experience. So for me personally, I'm going to take the fast start, that really
Mhm.
reels me in, gives me a great start, even if I get a little bit of a shaky finish.
Mhm. Daquan.
Damn, I think I'm gonna have to agree with Rule.
Mhm.
Just simple fact that it's like me personally, when it came to weaker starts, I had to have somebody tell me like, nah, keep watching. So it's like if somebody didn't tell me keep watching, I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm not watching this. Like I'm not watching this, bro. Like, bro, it's episode 25 and nothing going on. He's talking to his mom, bro. Like I don't know what's going on, bro. Whereas like a crazy strong start, it's like, yo, like Rue was saying, I can give that as a recommendation. Granted, if you don't like the ending, you don't like the ending. If the ending is weak, ending is weak. But that shit was fire from like season 1 and 2. Season 3 was the trash, but a crazy strong start that's gonna reel you in and keep you engaged throughout the whole thing, and it's gonna kind of create a conversation. Like for example, like I can put an anime with a strong start. I can compare the strong start arcs to anime that had like stronger finishes, like on like which arc was like better, and so far and so forth. Whereas like we can all agree, like yeah, the ending was trash, but this specific arc blows the entire anime out the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could ask Mo or Smoke, Smoke kind of said One Piece, right? Mo, could you add an example? Give us an example as well as something that you think was maybe like a slow start, but it was worth the patience because the payoff at the end was so great. You know what I
See,
mean?
that's why I
I'll
was
give you
asking
one.
for the definition that you gave, right? Because like One Piece is go one, but I feel like Naruto kind of started off slow and then it picked up along the way. Like, you know what I mean? So I guess it just depends on like what I'm saying is most of these animes that we watch, if you look at them, the first, I mean, if you consider the Zabuza, like it kind of started strong, but that's not like
Nah, I
like
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say the Zabuza arc. It was the one when the one before the Zabuza arc.
no,
But
that's what I'm saying. It started off kind of slow, is what I'm
It
saying.
did. It did.
can,
It
So
can,
did.
can I give
and then
can I give a
go
little
ahead.
bit of clarity real quick? So slow. So, but I'm for me, and let me know if I'm looking at this wrong. Not necessarily slow, But I'm thinking of
like slow as in weak. I guess we got to define what weak is. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking of shaky, like yo, whoa, that's kind of
Okay,
bad.
so
But then if you stick with
okay.
it, you're like, okay, wait, nah, that was worth it.
Oh,
I'm
you
not
talking about
necessarily.
like shaky? Okay, I'm
I'm
thinking
not
of
gonna lie,
like
I could give you.
weak.
I'm like
think.
my hero was shaky in the beginning.
I don't think it was shaky. I
I feel
think
like,
it was.
bro, I feel like my hero. I'm watching this shit like, nah, this is
See,
not it, bro. But
see, I'm
then
thinking of
as
like.
you
Oh, go
keep
ahead.
watching, it's
Go ahead.
like, okay.
Okay.
And even I don't know if y'all saw Hitman Reborn starts off super slow. Like the
Yeah,
first,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess a week, because the way I was thinking of it is like a week start is something that's like it's just not strong. Like, meaning it's not, the pacing is probably slower. It's not as
Mhm.
like entertaining. It's kind of there for like, okay, let's see what this is about, and then it starts to like, and
Okay.
then because most of the best animes that we know, if we look at the first arc compared to like the middle of the arc at the end of the arc, usually the first arc is worse than the last arc. You get what I mean? Like even Naruto, that first arc is worse than the last arc. You get what I mean? And I feel it's the same with
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan, even though the ending is just the expectation of Attack on Titan was just so high because we've never seen an anime that consistent that raised the bar. So that ending is really just being compared to the best arc. And that best arc isn't the beginning arc. You get what I mean? So like when I'm thinking of like strong, I'm thinking of like let's say what's that? Code Lock, Blue Lock, for instance.
fire.
Started off phenomenal. Like it started off like
Mhm.
hitting the gates, and now look at it. Like it's starting to fall off a cliff.
I think
You
that
know?
was because of the animation though. That wasn't because of
Okay.
the line.
Animation could be a part of it, though, is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
true.
It could be
Yeah.
animation, it could be, you know what I mean? Or let's say Promise Neverland. Like it start off really well.
Yeah, promise.
That's
Now,
a great one. Then fell off a cliff.
Oh, I didn't think it started off well.
Nah, I start off well, bro, especially with the
I-
demons and the kids. And then
I feel like
when-
compared to like, I mean, compared to where it kind of ended, I feel like it started off like.
what I'm saying is it's a weaker start, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like what I'm saying, not that it's weaker. It started off strong. Like you start to realize, oh, what is this? Like that first arc is arguably probably up there with like even the second arc. You could argue, but what I'm saying is that beginning is better than what it ended with. Is what I'm saying. You get what I mean? Like that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Or like, for instance, but to your case, you may have, or I'll give you another one. I feel like JJK did not start with a strong start, bro.
Mhm.
It didn't.
You think so?
No, it did not, bro. If you go back and watch, that shit did not start. It didn't have a strong start. It was an okay start. Like people was like, okay, but really what picked it up was like that middle of the pack, and then Shibuya just kicked it off.
Nah, I feel like it had a strong start, bro.
Yo, bro,
I don't think so.
you not. I kid you not. I was speaking to people, and people didn't think it was going to be a great anime. Like I think me and Rue had this conversation with like years ago. When Rue was like, I don't know, Demon Slayer might be better. Like,
what was the first arc?
The first arc was I'll tell you right now. JK.
UG having to like eat the finger, right? And like fight like the
And then like
demon and all that
introduction of
at the
curses and all
school.
that.
Yeah, it's just like
It
the
was all world
introduction of
building.
curses. Like it was
really
wasn't-
world building.
It was just world
I
building.
wouldn't
Exactly.
consider that a fast start. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that one a
It
fast
was the
start.
cursed child arc, bro. It was the arc where he meets Megami, and then like they beat the whatchamacallit, like they beat that little curse shit. Like I forgot what that curse is
Yeah.
called. Yeah, yo, bro, that first arc was not strong.
So,
Like when him and
I feel like when I watched it, I'm like, oh no, this shit fire.
But it's
Yeah, I
because
mean,
Gojo carried.
probably,
Yeah,
but
because I'm like, yo, they introduced because Gojo didn't. Did he? What
Yes,
did
he
Gojo
did.
do
In like the
that arc?
second, in like the third or fourth episode, he
No,
fucking
but
infinite voided
What did he do?
volcano head.
no, Volcano A was not the first arc. That didn't happen in the first arc.
That wasn't right.
Nah, that wasn't the first arc
Okay.
when he did that.
I thought that
Nah, that was. I
the
think
part of
I'll tell you
I
right
thought
now.
that was too.
Nah, it wasn't the first arc. I'm
So,
gonna tell
so
you
what do
exactly.
you guys think someone is more likely to get through? You think people like, and I'm talking about like present day, right? What do you think people are more likely to get through? The slow start or the fast start. And keep in mind, people have the internet. So even though you have a slow start, you might be seeing people say stick with it, right? But I think some people will still deviate. So what do you think people are more likely to get through, the slow start where you hear it's gonna like pay off at the end, or the fast start where you're just automatically hooked yourself?
I mean,
I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this
This
right now.
is somebody that's never watched anime
yeah,
before.
if you've
like I'm
never watched
intro-
anime, the strong start is going
strong
to,
starts for you. But if you're an
but-
anime head,
yeah,
right?
if you watch
I
anime,
think it is. This is what's going to probably hurt you if you have a weaker start, is if you get the anime off the ground. But if you get those people to actually get through the weak start and get to the strong end, what ends up happening is you get people to recommend the show. And what ends up happening, you see this all the time, where you see clips online of like a crazy fight, and people recommend it, and people were like, "Oh, I didn't get to this part. I thought it was trash." And they will get through the weak start to get to the strong finish, and and that will like actually elevate the anime more compared to a strong start and then a weak finish. But then I guess the misunderstanding here is what we consider, because like to Rue's point, if you're talking about shaky start or like shaky end, or if you're using that term shaky, then I would agree with Rue.
Okay, so what?
Right?
What
Shaky's OD. I ain't gonna lie.
so
You know, I would have to agree
what
with them.
anime
You know?
I won't li-
had a strong start.
You said what?
Tokyo Ghoul, in my opinion.
Tokyo Ghoul had a strong start, and then it just fell off. It had a weak finish, especially with the time skip and what they did.
Yeah,
Tokyo Ghoul is a great one.
Yeah, bro, that was
Tokyo Ghoul is
bad.
good one.
I haven't
bad.
seen this one, but I know like what could also like diminish an anime's like stardom in the anime community and scene is like time falling off between seasons dropping. So like something like Black Clover even, you know, like Black Clover is one of them.
Start, though.
But I'm saying like it did pick up, and then once it hit to a point where it's like, okay, this is about to be peak, they took like 4 years to come out with another season. So it's like that's another thing that can make your anime like not reach its potential that it's supposed to reach.
Demon Slayer, I think, had a fast start, right? And even though Demon Slayer has really done this, I feel like we still are seeing it through because that start was so fast.
You're right. Demon Slayer is a good one. Demon Slayer had a strong start.
Did have a strong.
Now,
definitely did.
I'll be honest. Something else that had a good start, but I won't. It definitely wasn't Demon Slayer, right? It was good, but it was still kind of like a build-up. Vinland Saga, bro. I still have not finished season 2, bro.
Vinland Saga is a good one too.
I'm having such a hard time, bro.
I can't watch season.
Vinland Saga is a good one too.
I'm having such a hard time, bro. And
that's
the start was solid, but it wasn't like oh my god. But it was very solid though.
Nah, the start was phenomenal.
I ain't gonna lie, Rule. Yeah, the start was strong. His father got smoked. It was a good start.
But that's a little bit before his father, because before his father got smoked, you got to kind of go through. You seen some battle, but it was a lot of just the land, right, where they were.
His father had escaped early.
Yeah,
my memory is a little crazy. My memory is first episode. No, I don't think he.
It was like the second episode. It was like the second
episode.
Yeah, bro, it was early, bro.
Mad early, bro.
Early. I think it was first episode.
Yeah, it was. The first, no. It was the second episode. Yeah, his father got smoked like the second episode, bro.
Yeah, no, the first episode was them warning him that they were gonna pull up, and then the second episode is when Askeladd and them did pull up, and then he gets on the boat with them.
And he died. He died in episode 4.
Okay.
Oh, that was early. That's early.
I mean, that is early. That is early. That is. I thought I was like a little later, but okay,
bro.
I think that's a 20-something season. 20-some episodes.
All right. I mean,
24 episodes.
So it was like 20-something.
Yeah, that is okay. All right, I'll give you. I'll give you that.
I don't know. 4 out of 24. So we made it a sixth of the way through the season already.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, Rule. 4 episodes in, that's because, like, would you say Attack on Titan had a strong start?
I think so. Like, all right, what episode did Aaron get eaten?
Bro, that shit was like episode 8, bro, or like it's like between 6 and 8.
Real?
Nah, but
I'm telling you, it was that. It was. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Like episodes within their seasons though, or is it still like only 20-25?
No, it fluctuates because season 2 is only 12 episodes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro.
That shit, bro.
So I mean, maybe
it says episode. It says episode 6. So
okay,
yeah, that's early.
That's
Okay.
early. That's
Okay.
early to me. I ain't gonna
Okay,
lie.
so
That's
so
early.
so we'll give Vinland Saga a fast
Yeah,
start
that's
then.
early.
I mean, I do
Bleach-
plan to
Bleach
I
had
do
a
plan I do plan to finish it though, but
Would y'all say that
strugg-
Hunter x Hunter has a slowish burn, like up
No.
until the point where they start to go and learn Nen?
It don't
with,
start strong. It don't start strong.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's slow though.
It's not slow though. It's not a strong.
Right,
And that's the thing. I guess is tricky too because I don't think Hunter x Hunter is a weak start or a strong start. I think it's kind of like
Middle of the
It,
road.
like, intrigues you a little bit. And
Yeah.
but they don't
I need to
take,
grab
they don't
something to
take
drink. I'll be
long
right back.
to get shit started though. Like the
Yeah.
pacing don't take long to get started. Now Bleach, I feel like Bleach was a very strong start. Like Bleach, it started out like, all right, we on timing.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because y'all kind of convincing me, I guess, with the strong.
I think the
I guess
hardest
it
part
depends
is
on how-
strong and slow is subjective, right? It's subjective, but
Yeah,
all right.
it's because
But-
if you talking about shaky, I'm on board with Daquan and Rule. If you talking about shaky, I'd rather.
All right, so let's do this because we've been on this topic for a minute, right? Just tell me, like, I'm a fresh anime person, right? Like, how would you get me to watch something with a shaky start that you know pays off at the end, right? Like, what would be your selling point?
Wait, that start so shaky.
Yeah, but it pays off at the end, right? Like, I'm
not gonna
fresh.
lie,
I've never seen it.
I'd show you. I'd probably show you a couple fight scenes and a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll show you a couple fight.
you gotta show them like what they could get to. Like to
Yeah,
my point earlier, like yo, this like get them hooked. What, bro? Like this is what you could get to. You gotta. But
yeah.
this is the reward that you get if you
Mhm.
watch it here. Because I'll give you a perfect example. This is not anime related, right? But like
Or
Game of
I'll
Thrones.
tell you the storyline with like one out of like the 10 plot twists they got.
Yeah. So for instance, like Alex Daquan, you guys know her, right? So she didn't want to watch Game of Thrones, for instance, right? She's like, nah, I don't want to watch it because it started off so slow. But I was like, I showed her what it looked like in with the dragons and all. I'm like, yo, but you gotta watch this because in order for you to get to this point and enjoy the show, you need to understand the world building. You need to see the characters. You need to, you know what I mean? Things just don't get created overnight. So you kind of got to build towards that. And the anime version, right? When with Mike, for instance, I didn't want to kind of jump him into, you know, Attack on Titan right away because I'm like, bro, that's going to set the bar too high. So I was like, yo, why don't you just watch, you know, Naruto? You know what I mean? And then just show them a couple fights. So I guess it depends on whether or not you feel like Naruto has a strong start or, you know what I mean? But I feel like most people that don't watch anime, if they just started watching Naruto, they probably just won't, it won't click for them right away. It just depends who you're speaking to. But yeah, I think Daquan hit that nail on the head.
Yeah. See, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I think like I feel like I have to make you a believer by seeing it. So me personally, I would give somebody maybe like Death Note, right? I would like this is
I wouldn't give niggas Death Note,
bro, because it falls off at the end, bro.
Like
It does.
Time,
It does.
It falls off at the end, but I think it's solidified in all of our minds, bro, because of how strong it was and what it gave us. Even though it falls off at the end, it's all time solidified.
But
bro.
I feel like with Death Note, you have to have some level of patience with Death Note,
Bro.
I don't know.
Right
It's
away,
so,
bro.
It's not a long anime though.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
it's
not long, but it can get, depending on the type of person you're introducing anime to, it can get type of like.
I don't know. I got one of my close.
I don't know. I think it's a strong
anime
finish.
to
I
do
think
it.
people be. I don't know. I think it's a strong. I mean, I think it's a strong start. I think it's.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna lie. It all depends on your like takes and your takes in anime. If you're looking for like a fighting like a shonen like with graphics all that, like that's not for you. But if you're into more like mystery thriller, then it's like yeah. So it all depends on the type of anime you're looking for. But that wouldn't be like a general go-to. Like it don't really have much. Like it has a lot of plot twists, but it don't really have like the emotional aspect. Like you don't get tied to characters. Like I would.
You're not
I would,
tied
I
into
would,
Death Note characters, so you mean to tell me when L
You don't.
died, you didn't care?
You don't get
You didn't care
emotionally
when L
invested
died.
in the characters in Death Note, bro.
You about to make me sit like him right now, gang.
Wait,
Bro,
bro, you did not care. You didn't care when L died?
I didn't care, bro.
Nah, bro, you sick, bro.
I didn't.
Bro, the back and forth that they had.
No, you want
to
know
end
why I
that
didn't
way?
care? Because it's like you knew it was gonna happen. Like it was gonna happen. Like for example, like Naruto did a good job of getting you emotionally tied to characters in a short span of time. Like for example, when like Asuma died, bro, niggas did.
That wasn't short, bro.
Bro, I care about L way more than I cared about
What
Asuma.
I'm saying, no, but like Asuma, he's been there the entire time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you've never had an emotional connection to them the entire time, but they made it so that you have an emotional connection to that group. It's not even the one character, but the group of characters, because you've seen them grow with him.
Mm-hmm.
So when he died, you saw the effect that it had on everybody else.
Yo, Rue's face is hilarious.
Bro,
Yeah.
L death.
Bro.
Nah,
Mo,
L's death
Mo,
is
no,
bro.
no,
That's
no,
like L's death is iconic.
Bro,
I'm not gonna lie.
Give us a poll, bro. Give us a poll. Whose death?
Hughes
Whose death impacted you harder, L or Asuma, bro?
Mhm.
We need a poll.
bro. Asuma's death was more emotional, bro.
Then L's?
Yes, it was.
What?
Bro, you got to think about it. He left, bro. He left behind a whole child. Like his girl at the time was pregnant with a whole child that grew up and never met a father. You left behind. Shikamaru never smoked ever. Shikamaru took over his smoking habit. Left behind Choji and Ino. He left behind a whole team. Like
nobody cares about Choji nor Ino.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
bro,
Shikamaru was the main one. You felt an emotional attachment because of the way it affected the other characters. The way it affected the other characters made it have more of an emotional effect when you watched it.
Nah, bro, this is one of the greatest back and forth dramas.
Nobody cared when L died, bro. Nobody cared when L died, bro. Cared when niggas like, yo, L dead.
People cared that he died.
Oh my god.
People
cared. You want to be
when L died, bro.
Yo, not only do they care that he died, they care that L didn't. that Light didn't straight up beat him.
You want to know
people were genuinely interested in who was gonna win, right?
They had backups for the nigga. They had a backup for him because niggas knew he was gonna die. Like, all right, we gonna take his spot now.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, Daquan, you wildin', bro.
Nobody cared, bro.
Nah, people did care.
And niggas already had a contingency plan for when he died. The niggas know, like, all right, this nigga gonna die. So, all right, next.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same for Asuma, didn't they?
No.
They replaced him.
No.
They replaced him, didn't they?
With who?
They replaced Asuma.
With who?
Bro. Like this dude only
get
died. This dude died for other characters to shine. When L died, Nair or Mello didn't get the same shine, bro, because they couldn't fill the shoes. Asuma died. We were like, okay, cool. Let me see what Shikamaru is about to do. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
Like when L died, it was like a gasp. It was like, oh, shoot, no, bro, and it was like we don't want this
character. Nigga that gas in the whole world.
Yo, Kakashi stepped in.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did, bro.
He did, because then Yamato took over.
Exactly. Kakashi stepped in. See, replaceable, easy,
bro.
I knew I was bugging. I'm like, bro,
Kakashi don't have no emotional attachment to these three niggas.
They replaced him. He's replaceable,
bro. It's fine. It's fine, bro. The one time I thought me and this dude agrees, I should have known it was too good to be true, bro. Mo, please give us the poll between Asuma and L. Whose death was more impactful and whose death hit you harder? And we can do this all night, right? Stop, bro. We could do this for 3 more hours.
On the show, he was the main character. Asuma's death was more emotional, though.
All right, we'll
No,
see. We'll see.
it was
We're
not.
gonna have them.
The-
We're gonna have our
the-
viewers definitely vote on this
The
because it's
poll is going to
interesting.
tell us. And yo, listen, if you want more of these arguments, make sure you guys like and subscribe. But jump in the comment section. Tell us whose death meant more, Asma or Els, bro. Like, come on, bro. Nobody was really following this Newport hoarder. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really care.